Hoorah. Hoorah. I actually heard that was some kind of, I think it's a special forces chant of some sort, or maybe I'm just out biking to Wisconsin or something. I actually tried to look it up before the episode, but I didn't find anything. I just did it for 2 seconds, and I found something completely different. Went down a completely different rabbit hole, and I found the University of Utah fight song, Utah Man. And I can tell you one thing. If it's one thing that song doesn't do, it's making you want to fight. Like if you look it up and listen to it, like the University of Utah fight song, Utah Man, you do not want to fight to that song. I don't know who came up with that concept or who made it the official fighting song of University of Utah. I don't know what fighting goes on in the University of Utah for the like, first off, you know. Secondly, I don't know why you would even have that posted, and also it doesn't have anything to do with fighting. I feel like it feels medieval, or obviously anything medieval is a little bit fighting related, because what else was there to do than just chopping heads off, you know? But anyways, welcome to the whatever, I think episode 34 of this this podcast with me, your host, Medieval Dennis. I don't want to talk about that topic actually just yet. I don't know if I'll get into it, but I did, or maybe I will. I did watch the fights yesterday, so this is a bit of a quick update. And I mean, things went kind of how you thought it would go. Like, the outcome of the main card was the two main fights were predictable. Like, Tommy obviously won his fight. Well, not obviously. I think it was more of a draw, but that's my opinion, which is with no expertise whatsoever. But anyways, I thought it was. But he did win, and you know, Logan Paul won the other one. So yeah, predictable outcomes in terms of results, but not in the way that the fights went, I would say. Like, it was not predictable in that sense, but you know, I'm starting off with the boring parts, obviously. The fights, I mean, they weren't that fun, to be honest. The other fights were a lot more fun. But the weather also, it's autumn now, it's fall now, it's whatever else word you have for it, it is now. And the leaves are starting falling off the trees, it's raining more, it's more windy, it's more cold. That's about it, to sum it up in 10 seconds or whatever. It's actually, I don't know about my apartment, but I have no heat in the floor. There's no floor heating, and the floor is the coldest part of the apartment, I would say, except maybe the outside of the windows, but that's not in the apartment, now that I think about it. So I'm wearing something called, I looked it up, and it says in Google Translate, it says that it's called the rag sock. So I'm wearing rag socks. I don't know if you're able to understand that term, but I'm wearing blue rag socks that I got off my mother's fiance's grandmother. So that's a bit of a stretch in where you get gifts from. No, actually, it's his mother. It's his mother. So I don't know why I say mother, like I'm all of a sudden from the other side of the Atlantic. I'm not. So let's keep it to mother. Mother. Let's keep it in mother. But rag socks. I'm wearing rag socks, and they are a thicker type of sock. So I'm wearing that, and no one has came in these socks. So that's a big plus. I would say a big plus on that one. Mathematics, it's not my strong point, but it sounds kind of like a sports team, like the Red Sox, and then you have the minor league team, which could be the D1 Division 1 team or whatever. Like, could be the Red Sox, because they're more shit. They look scrumpier. They look more like something that your grandmother would share for. And I don't know. Maybe grandmothers go crazy for the Red Sox. I don't know. I'd like to see that. Just fucking hooligan grandmothers going nuts on people's skulls in the audience. Just chanting and setting people's bald heads on fire. But that would be kind of cool in theory, maybe not in retrospect if they had actually happened. But in talking about sports, I've been following hockey quite religiously, or not religiously. I haven't watched a single game yet, but I'm watching highlights. I'm following Connor Bedard and Chicago Blackhawks. Seeing what teams are looking better than others, and things are interesting, but it's hard to tell, obviously, which teams are going to be good this season. But Austin Matthews has begun the season exceptionally well. I think Nylander as well, not to expose my fucking ethnicity, which I basically just did. So if you know where he's from, that's essentially where I'm from. So anyways, I've been following that, the scrums, the highlights, the goals, the dekes, the saves, all of that, the good stuff, not the boring parts in between, even though I don't think there are that much boring parts when you actually watch the full game and you invest in a game. But I haven't invested in a single game yet, so that's maybe why I have that outlook at the moment. But I'm not really able to watch the games, to be honest, except on weekends, because they are nightly activities, and I'm not able to be a night owl as I would maybe like to be. As a owl would say, right? Isn't that what they say? Isn't that the sound of a sick owl? Maybe an owl with anthrax or something. An owl with that's been chain smoking for 20 years. Anyways, actually I spoke about my apartment earlier, and I've gotten some plants from my mother, and I've gotten three new plants, in the window. So that's looking pretty. It's looking pretty, just like your mum, I didn't mean to go that way, but I went there. So feel free to come at me in the comments. And it looks a little bit more lively in here because of it, and it's nice to have life with you. I actually have roommates now. My plants, my roommates. Don't judge me. I have a few spiders as well, crawling about, that I see every now and then. Don't want to kill them. I don't like killing insects for some reason, except if they actually intrude into my personal space. Even though my apartment is my kind of personal space, but I'm talking like if it comes approaching me as a human being, then you can get it. Like that's essentially the insect squaring off, so squaring up against me. So if the insects want to square up, I mean, you get the fist, and if it wants to keep a safe distance, then I don't mind it. I don't really. And especially if it keeps in the roof, like high up, like I have quite a like high ceiling, so it doesn't really matter if they're up there. It's if they come down, that's when they die. If I see them on the floor crawling about, you're getting a kick. Like I'm doing MMA on that spider or whatever is crawling about. I mean, I don't know if I told this story, but I once had a cockroach when I was living abroad in my apartment, and those little, they're so gross looking and they're so big for an insect, in my opinion. I mean, Australians will probably laugh at me if they hear this. Talk about cockroaches being big insects. Are you dumb, bruv? Not that they say bruv in Australia, but are you dumb? I guess. I guess they would think that because they have a tarantulas the size of cars out there. So don't want to stomp on those. Don't want to challenge one of those to squaring up in your apartment, because if one of those gets in your apartment, it's essentially their apartment at this point. So you might just pack your bags and leave, or just leave and let the spider have the bags, pretty much. So that's roughly it about my roommates. That is actually no. I don't want to portray myself like I'm insane, but we have fun here. Also, I spoke about the leaves coming off the trees, so we have a little bit of naked trees, and for some reason it always reminds me of like the savannah in below places below the South Africa, I guess. Not the actual country, but southern Africa, I guess I could say. Reminds me of the savannah, for some reason. I don't know why. It always has. But naked trees sounds a bit funny. Sounds a bit naughty. Autumn and fall is getting a bit, a little bit X-rated nowadays, or not nowadays. It always has been, with the trees undressing themselves. That sounded creepy as shit, so I'm gonna stop. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, I saw this crazy story about well, not story, I guess, but the unraveling of the life of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Like, isn't that nuts? Like, just they have been living together, but not actually living together. They've been married, I guess, but they have been separated essentially for like 7 years, is what I read. Like, and you're gonna slap Chris Rock for someone that you're not even married to, or you are married to, but you're not even close. You just portray this facade. You try to portray this facade for the public, but I guess it didn't work. It's out now. The story's out. Everyone knows about it. So that seems a little bit odd, but stranger things have happened, I guess. Haven't been watching a lot of series. Speaking of stranger things, I haven't been watching that much. I've been trying to catch up on other things. So that's been a little bit sad. I was hoping to watch more series, but I haven't. I've bought a Netflix subscription, obviously, but I haven't really used it, to be honest. And that feels a little bit weird, like buying something and not using it. I felt the same about the Zone subscription, actually, that I have bought, and I'm still paying for it, even though I just watch these events like maybe every other Saturday or one Saturday a month or something. So it doesn't really seem worth it, and I thought about quitting it, but ending the subscription, but I don't know. I'll probably just let it run and keep paying for it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll end it. Maybe I'll end it all, as they say. You can take that however you will. Actually starting to get a little bit in the need of I guess I have a small bladder. Like, some people have small bladders. I always consider myself to have a large bladder. Like, small eggplant but big bladder, No, that sounded way too serious. I don't want to make it serious. But some people have, I wonder if that's a thing, like small bladder energy or big bladder energy. But I always thought I had a big one because I could hold it for so long. For like car rides, I could hold for like 6 hours. Didn't even matter. Bladder matter. You see what I'm rhyme scheming. So I always thought I was in that community. I thought I was a part of the gang, kind of. But I guess I'm not part of the small bladder gang. Which is a little bit disappointing, not gonna lie. That is a little bit disappointing. But you do what you can, right? So I think I've switched. I guess it has shrunked. I don't know what the correct verbiage or what the correct usage of it grammatically is. Come correct me in the comments if you like. I think that's the episode, to be honest. Small Bladder Gang. So I guess I'm gonna do a 2-minute outro for this insanely short episode and insanely non-content episode. I guess you could call it. What have I even talked about this episode? That's always what I'm wondering. Like when I just sit down and spit into the microphone about nothing, just rambling. I always catch myself what did I even talk about? To name the episode or whatever. But I guess that's a little bit of behind the scenes for everyone, for no one watching, But anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this one. I want to thank you for watching if you have watched, and the deal, as usual, subscribe, clip this or don't clip this, tell all your friends. No, that's me stealing Steve Dangle because I've watched too much hockey this week. Obviously, I said that, but tell anyone. Tell your roommates, your tarantulas the size of cars. If you live in Australia, don't think that I'm dumb over there. Tell your mother if you're transatlantic, and tell you all, anyone, close ones, loved ones, whatever pleases you. Long distance people of the universe, I don't mind. Shockwaves to the aliens. Tell them about the Eclipses podcast. Anyways, that's been it for me. Thank you, and goodbye and peace and love. A little bit of Woodstock vibes. Anyways, bye.